What were your feelings at the time as a mother?
When my daughter, when I knew about my daughter having dyslexia, at the time there was no internet. It's that long ago. So I remember, I think I read every single book that there was in the Floriana Library and in the branch library in Slima. So I informed myself a lot. I followed her a lot at school. So I put aside my ambition to work and to do this and to do that. So anyway, that is what I chose to do. So I supported her a lot academically until she said, "Mom, I can do this." I said, "Okay, that's great. That's exactly what I want," because I remember her telling me that. I decided not to send her to private lessons. I thought that I was going to overload her more than she's overloaded at school, because the impact, they have to work so much harder at school that I said I'm not going to give her more of the same. So I remember she was in the Scouts, we used to dance, we used to jump in puddles, and we used to do all these things in the afternoon. So she goes to school fresh. And what I decided to do as well, and obviously she was involved as well, was do the O-levels that she can do. To get out of the model that you should be doing taught O-levels so you can go there, because if you have dyslexia and if that is what you want to do, there are other ways of reaching your goals. With my daughter, she did 6 O-levels and she managed to follow the road that most follow. But with the boys, it was the same decision, a bit of a rebellion against the system from me. So no private lessons, we're not doing well, it doesn't matter. Because they were in Scouts as well. They had this group going, one of them, Dyslexic Teens Dialogue. They were public speaking about dyslexia, which did them a lot of good. So my son was one of the founder members. He was missing school to do talks in school. But I said, this is going to do so much good, then yet another lesson. But that was the risk I took as well. There might be parents who say, they miss a lesson. Yes, because for him it gave him an outreach, and it developed him as well. And I admire them all at that age to talk about dyslexia, to talk about what is wrong with you in an academically or in a school environment sort of thing, to a hall full of other students and teachers. And I think they learned a lot from them because it was their lived experience. And I remember I used to accompany them sometimes as well. And there used to be other students, and I think I know. I think my cousin is like that, because she's finding difficulty to read. So you get all this, and they used to answer, it doesn't matter, even we're like that. But look, we're here talking about it.
It gives you power.
So it was great. It was great. And as well, with the boys, they didn't have the default 6 O-levels to go to 6-1, whatever. So one went to ITS. The other one went to MCAST. They found the support they need, I have to say that, because they did. So hats off to MCAST and to ITS. I need to mention them because they were key. They were key, and they were granted a reader, finally. Of course, before they weren't, because it was thought that they were advantaged with having a reader.
And assistive technologies only became popular in the past couple of years.
Yes, but still, if you're tested and you are not granted, so you could have a robot near you. But if they think that it's going to give you an advantage, or if they think you don't need it, then it's not going to be given to you. But they did, and they progressed there, and they kept progressing up to degree level, both of them, obviously. Then they learned how to study. For instance, like you mentioned, the one that went to MCAST and progressed to ITS and then to University of Malta, found his way of studying. So he used to use a lot the immersive reader, because that takes the strain out of him having to decode, having to read. That is tiring. So and he found his own way. And like that, yes, I'm sure it was a bigger struggle than anyone else
for sure
to study at that level, but he managed. Obviously, there were a lot of discussions, and a lot of not a lot of giving up actually, because I was very focused. So yes, there is hope, but you have to have the courage as well
Yes.
to go against the flow, to trust your instincts, and you say, it's okay. I remember I had a very heated discussion with school because we came to drop Maltese. And it was like I was asking for something that I was condemning my son to, like a lifetime of
Despair.
misery or whatever. I said, look,
Yeah.
he just cannot do it. It's like me telling me, look, I'm going to give you the best coach, the best gear, the best shoes, and you're going to earn in the Olympics. I tell him, look, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. Like Maltese and English together, in certain times of dyslexia, they will work against each other. Because when you're trying to get used to a sound of, for instance, ch, which is the C with the dot in Maltese, and in English is CH for church,
Yeah.
and you're trying to learn two languages, there's a lot of interference because you're trying to learn a code of one language. And at the same time, the same code is different from another language, and then you have two codes. So I decided to take one of these plunges that would exclude them from university, and so I said, they just can't do it.
Yeah.
It's okay. If they want to do it, they can do it later on. But at the moment, I'm chopping their work.
Yeah.
I'm chopping their work because this is stressful. It's, it's creating a situation. It is not doing any good. So they're going to do the O-levels that they can do, and they're going to decide with me what they're going to decide. And one of them did 4, I think. I don't know, the other one did 5. But they progressed in a different way. One is a qualified chef now with a degree anyway. That's what he wanted to do all along. And the other one has food technology from MCAST, hospitality management. So they're doing what they want to do in any case.
That's
So
good.
anyway, it's good.
Sometimes it's just a numbers game as well. It's like we have, I'm not sure whether it happens in Malta only, but sometimes the more you do, the better. And in some cases, it's not, sometimes less is more. Sometimes the more focused you are in what you're doing, and you're doing it to the best of your ability and playing by your strengths, that is sometimes more beneficial than trying to do things or to improve, in inverted commas, your weaknesses as well. Sometimes it's good to play by your strengths and to make your strengths even sharper. But I think the lesson here is about resilience.
It's about resilience, and it's about accepting as well. And it's about not trying to fit in a box. Because sometimes we focus a lot on, like, you need to get, I don't know, you need to do this, you need to do that, educationally especially, like I had from school. I mean, I'm sure it was part of their doing their job properly, but he just didn't fit in that model. And there are more than one models of success, whatever success is. Because at the end of the day, the success belongs to the young person or the student, and your job or your, let's say your job or your work, is to facilitate that or to accompany, let me say, because I don't like to use the word help either, to accompany as long as they need it and how they need as well. So not to be overprotective, and to take risks as well, because I did take a risk. Because I remember back then, even like the top students were going to private lessons all the time, and I said, what am I doing? My students, my children are not doing so well, I know they have a learning difficulty, and what am I doing? I'm not giving them extra help. But I said, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to overload them, and then they will develop. And if need be, it's not a race, it's not a rat race, and they're not rats, because a rat race is rats. So anyway, so I don't want to be part of that.